Hello, and welcome to Feed the Ultimate Beast with me, the most derpy one, aka MrSuryt. This is not a new skin. um, what has happened? I don't know. um, my equipment turned into wooden planks, glass, oak wood slab, and alvearies. I don't know. I lost all my quantum and solar, ultimate solar helmet and the grav chest plate. They turned into these things. Yeah, so I have actually spawned them back in. I didn't have to spawn in the solar helmet. I already had an extra one I'd unintentionally crafted through my AE system, applied energistics. The rest I have recrafted and good. Yeah, I don't even know where. Like, obviously they've come from here. I already had them in my inventory, but I don't know why they ended up, or how they ended up there. A strange bug. I'm going to go into cheat mode and destroy these extra ones, though. You get to see me do that. I don't need them. Got plenty of them anyway. Okay, that's done. Thank God. Now, one other thing I should probably say, yep, I'm aware I've not actually filmed anything for a while, haven't put anything up. There is a very good reason for that, and it is my other half. She's terrible with technology and has destroyed my monitors. Both of them dead. At the same time, come home from work and they were not turning on. Looked into it and unfortunately they died. They were gone. Gone for good. And they're just out of warranty as well. So I've had to go and buy a new monitor, which had to wait for a bit of money to come in. So first episode back, and we are... Well, I had to go around and fix a few things up. I'm not too sure why. Maybe it was part of that glitch there. All my tanks were unmade. I had to go around and remake them. All I had to do was knock a block out, put it back in, and then whack the valve, and they reformed with all the liquid in them, so that saved me there. But I've had to go around and change a few things. A few recipes have changed, so yeah, I guess the latest update had a few little bugs in it. I know multiplayer server, if you have the grad chest in your AE system, you will constantly crash every time you go into your world. The game cannot be loaded. I have experienced that problem on a multiplayer server, so it does happen. Since then though, I've added this honey pipe, which is crafting scented paneling. I ran out of beeswax before. I'd gone back and got a bit more of it. And a few more of those. Scented panels. I'm sure you can work out what it is I'm going to be making looking at this. You need a bit of royal jelly, some oak wood planks, which have been a pain to get. I'm going to have to make myself just a normal farm for wood. Multi-block farm sounds good. Some pollen and some beeswax. That gets you the scented paneling. The scented paneling... Oh, you can't actually see in that. I'll have to go under here. I've got a fair bit of it. I have been mucking around with it. I was mucking around with it before I even started with the apiary. Well, not before I started with the apiaries, but before I started with the apiaries on my recording. But yeah, it's only really got the one use. You whack it like so. With an impregnated casing, you get an alveary. And we do have the impregnated sticks being made pretty much constantly over here. And over here is the impregnated casing. And this is where all the impregnated sticks are going. Getting ourselves a few frames. I've been trading a lot for frames as well. So I haven't just been using the impregnated frames, but I couldn't be bothered going and trading anymore, so we're going to just stick with these ones. Of course, scented paneling, that does mean today's episode we're going to be looking at the alveary. I have got quite a few of them already here. Not too difficult for me to get with all the scented paneling, and it's very easy to make. We've just seen how it is. You need 8 centered panels and an impregnated casing like so. You need 26 of these. And, oh, perfect. 26 of these. Now, that tank's already been made. That's annoying. That's okay. We'll whack it down right here. It is a multi-block. And you place it like so. Let's jump up here and do this. Oh, mouse is struggling. Oh, did I say 26? I meant 27. Now that's not going to form just yet. You need one more thing on top. You need some kind of a block on top. Most common thing to use is just your wooden slabs. Now, originally it did take any block on top. There you go, it's formed up. I'm not too sure if now you need the slabs or if you can use a different block, but there you go, an alveary. Now this is of course a giant apiary. A giant beehive, I guess. It works pretty much exactly the same as the apiary, except one thing missing right here. You can't add frames to the vanilla alveary. You don't actually have to. The alveary works as an apiary with 3 frames already in it. It is as efficient as an apiary with 3 frames. However, thank you to Extra Bees and all the extra little mods that get added to Feed the Beast, we have these guys, the frame housing. The frame housing made from 3 iron, a piece of alveary or an alveary block, and golden electron tubes. We've made these before. Thermionic fabricator, gold like so, redstone like so. Put your glass up here, make sure you've got at least 2 Minecraft joules going into it per tick. You'll get the golden electron tubes. Frame housings, exactly what they sound like. They are... oh, I don't actually have an axe with me. It's okay. They go into the alveary. Just gotta wait a little bit, about... oh, no, it's pretty quick that time. Usually it's about 10 seconds, bit of a delay. It's a frame housing. It's where you can put frames. So you can add frames to your alveary and make it super productive. Remembering the vanilla frames all do exactly the same job. The only difference is the life of them. So you don't have to use an impregnated. You can use just the stock standard frame if you really wanted to. Or you can go out, find the villager, the apiarist villager, and you get yourself the frames which last forever, the proven frames. They don't actually last forever, but they last much longer than this. What is it called again? The frame housing. All these extra little blocks that you can add to the alveary, they all have to go on the bottom 2 layers. That's one other thing that you have to remember. They can't go on this top layer, and of course they can't go up here. If you were to put it on the outside here, you actually break the multi-block. Oh, okay, there we go. Reforms. We can get rid of you. We can get rid of you. I'm going to use a pickaxe because that's just what I do. Yeah. With the alvearies, this is an alveary. With the apiaries, that's it. You can't actually automate putting frames into it. It has to be done manually. That was intentionally done that way so that people wouldn't just automate their bees and in no time you've got every bee you wanted. You just leave the game running. With the alveary, and in particular the frame housing, you can automate frames being put into it. Which means you can set up a system, say with this fabricator up here. If I had... dang it. If I had this fabricator set up with string and impregnated sticks, so pumping out all the sticks here, and maybe a spawner with spiders, I would end up being able to then pump it out of there straight into the frame housing whenever it needed one. And that's what I will eventually do. With these frame housings, I'm not sure if I already mentioned it, but the maximum you can add, well, you can add one for every single block down the bottom here, but the maximum that will actually work, will do any good, is 6, I believe. Any more than 6 and you're wasting your time. It can't get more efficient than 6, which is why I had crafted 6 of these. So there we go. See if that forms back up. There we go. A little bit of a delay with all these extra frame housings. You can't add them in here though. You've got to go to each one individually and put them in. I'm going to be a little bit short here, but that's okay. I'm not actually going to keep this one down here. This is just for show. Now, of course, my bees do work underground, so they're fine. The Alveary does have a few other neat little things that you can add to make it so your bees do not have to be outside. They can last in rain, they can work in different temperatures, humidity, etc. The Alveary is pretty neat in that basically you don't have to do any of your genetic manipulation if you use these, and you get a lot more resources from them. Let's have a look at a couple of the other frame housings that you can get. Not frame housings, the other blocks you can add. Now this one here, the Alveary rain shield made with bricks. More of the Alveary blocks and golden electron tubes. Get you the rain shield. This here does exactly what you'd expect. Okay, and you got to put it in the bottom too. It means your bees will work in the rain. Just going away a little bit. There we go. It has to go through each block that's different, I guess, before it forms up. So yeah, with this block here, it's not an inventory. There's nothing else to it. You put it there. Bees that do not have the trait for the flying trait for working in the rain will now actually keep working through the rain in this block. Through this multi-block, I guess. Another one is the Alveary lighting using glowstone dust, Alveary, and more golden, why do I keep calling it golden electron tube. And this one, well, it's a light. I'm sure you can work it out. Oh wow, that formed up real quick. It makes it so they work at night. Your bees can work at night. Excellent. We're not going to use all these blocks, mind you, but I'll show you them all anyway. My bees work at night already. They work in the rain, so yes, my bees are awesome. Next one is the Alveary fan. This one's a little bit more complicated. Iron ingots in the corners. Very middle, you got the Alveary, and down the bottom, a golden electron tube. This one here requires power. Requires a buildcraft power in order to work. Getting quite a few of these blocks. Let's see if it does form up. So you do have to pump power into it. There we go. You don't actually have an inventory on this one again. What the fan and the heater block, golden electron tubes, iron ingots, Alveary, and stone. What these two blocks do, if you add power to them, they increase or decrease. It's actually kind of silly having a fan and a heater in the one. They'll negate each other, but with these things here, for each one of these heaters you put in, the temperature tolerance of your bees, it goes up one and down for each fan you put in there. So you may have to put several of those into the multi-block in order for your particular bees that you are using to work. Just depends on the environment you're in. It's not meant to, but it does. Well, I say it's not meant to. A lot of people say it doesn't, but I know for a fact that depending on where you are, can make these here work slightly differently, for example in the nether. But I'm not going to use those. Again, my bees work perfectly in this environment. So that was those two. The next one is the hydro regulator. This one here. It's glass iron and Alveary. This one here, these change the temperature. This changes the humidity. Thank you. Oh, now what you have to do to make this one work, these two here, you add Buildcraft power to it. And you obviously add Buildcraft power to your fan if you want it cooler, or heater if you want it warmer. This one here, it actually does have an inventory, and you have to add either lava or water. You can stack it up, of course. Obviously, water means that more humid, it's kind of making it into a jungle. If you wanted to make it a desert, so your what are they, modest bees work, you'd add your lava in. Obviously I can't add lava and water, they'd end up with obsidian. It does burn through the water and the lava very quickly. About 10 seconds per bucket or thereabouts. I could be wrong. Looks, yeah, there you go. We've already gone through a full bucket or a full can of water. You can add buckets, of course. You should be able to automate this as well. I've never had to. But yeah, that can make it so that your tropical bees, if you were to add some water to it, they should be able to work in here even if the environment does not allow it. So that was that one. Another awesome block, which again it's too late for me to use because I've already mutated to the desired bees, but the mutator using gold, Alveary and the diamond electron tubes, I'm just going to call them diamond because my English is not so goodly. I'm not very good at pronunciation. Yep, the mutator block mutates your bees. Let's plonk you in here. By mutate, what I mean is you have an increased chance of your bees, if there is a possible genetic change, a mutation, a new bee that could be created, the mutator increases that chance. Increases the chance of it happening. Now it is an inventory slot. You do need to add items. And there are a few items you can add. The first one is soul sand. Soul sand increases the chance by 1.5. 1.5%. Is it 1.5%? Let's just tab out. Oh, well, I've got the wrong ones up. Let's not tab out then. I wish I had my other monitor. Yeah, 1.5% chance, we'll say, of increasing the mutation. No, 1.5 times the chance. That's it. You also have ender pearls, which makes it 2 times. 2 times more likely that you will get the mutation. Eye of Ender is 4 times the chance. Uranium ore, probably one of the most common items people use in here, 10 times. So very likely to end up with a new species. This generally is one of the more commonly used items in there because it's well, a little bit more readily available than the top item to use. The top item is nether stars. If you put a nether star in there, you are guaranteed 50 times more likely you are guaranteed to get a mutation if a mutation is possible. But a nether star. There is actually with Greg Tech on, I know, I'm not 100% certain, let's just have a little look. If it does work. Yes, it does. There you go, you can duplicate your nether stars. All you need is 3 wither skeletons. So if you've got a wither skeleton grinder, this tome here does not get used up in this recipe, so you only need 1 of those. Diamonds can be crafted. Your glowing water can also be crafted using condensed splash serum and glowstone dust, as well as gunpowder, nether wart, and glowstone dust, a vial of ordinary water as well. All these items, you can actually automate them, and I'm playing on a multiplayer server at the moment, where the owner of that server has automated this system to duplicate his nether stars. You do need to get your glowstone and everything like that constantly making. You need witch farm, which is pretty good, pretty useful to get, I guess. I don't actually have one, but yeah, you can even have nether stars automated without having to fight a wither boss. Maybe we'll do that. But we're going to use a little bit of uranium in here. Christ, I work at a friggin' nuclear reactor and I can't even get the uranium ore. Can't even say that right. How this works is whatever item you put in there, obviously it increases it by a set number of chances, I guess, 10%, 10 times likely for the uranium. Every time your queen dies and a new princess is made, it will use up one item, one of the items. So that's the way that the Mutator works. And the last block that we are going to look at, and you know what, I may actually use this. I've used it a little bit already, which is how I got so many of my princesses and queens and everything. This here is a swarmer. It's a little bit frustrating at times. I'll explain why in a minute, but it needs more of those diamond electron tubes, some more gold ingots, and of course in the very center you need your Alveary block. Now the way this thing works, you add this into, it's looking pretty crazy at the moment, you add this into your Alveary. There we go. Move you out of the way. Wait for you to form up. Come on. Come on. Come on. There we go. It's formed up. Yeah. Alright. Now, the swarmer, basically whatever bee you've got in here, it adds a chance every so often of your naturally spawning hive. These things here, one of these to just appear randomly in the area around it. However, it won't just be any of these standard ones. It'll actually be a hive of whatever bee you have going through here. It does obviously have an inventory. Yeah, I thought so. Oh, I'm stuck. There's an inventory here. What you need to do here is you put in your royal jelly. It uses royal jelly. So that's a neat little block that I don't use all that often. There is a reason why I don't overuse this, and that is because the hives that it places down, the princesses and drones that it creates, they have a chance of dying and not coming back. They just, once they die, they do not produce offspring. Not always, but the chance is there. So, what I like to use those for is in my system up here, just to create serums. We've still got bees going through here, so that's good. Yep, so that there is how to make the Alveary. I wouldn't recommend having every single one of these blocks down here in here. About all that I really will use is the frame housings in mine. At the moment, at any rate. So yeah, what we're going to do, and I'm pretty much going to do it off screen. Why am I not? Oh, there we go. Wasn't running. I'm going to turn this level here into alvearies. I'm just going to place a whole bunch of the alvearies down, and you can pump out just like this system up here that I have going for the apiaries. How I've got all these pipes here pumping out the resources and the bees, you can do that for the alveary as well. So that's what I will be doing. And it's going to all be on, not the level one down, not this level, this is my bee storage, it's going to be going in this area here. We are going to automate the frames and everything. We're going to pretty much get the whole thing automated. And that should produce an abundance of our combs. which at the moment is actually coming along quite nicely. We've got a bit of oil going through as we speak. Still not showing up here. It's all going over to the main house through the tesseract. But anyway, that's the episode today. You're going to have to wait until next episode, I guess, before we build up all those Alvearies, if I end up doing it on screen at all. Hopefully you've enjoyed this episode though. If you have, hit like, subscribe, leave a comment, and I will see you next episode. Bye bye.